Widow's late husband left 52 letters. She could only open one per week for a year. Elizabeth Carter sat in her lawyer's office 3 days after burying her husband of 38 years. The room smelled of old books and furniture polish. Her hands trembled as she held a cup of tea she hadn't touched. Across the desk, Mr. Harrison adjusted his glasses and slid a wooden box toward her. "This is from David," he said gently. "He left very specific instructions." Elizabeth stared at the box. It was made of cherry wood polished to a deep shine. David had made it himself. She recognized his craftsmanship in every dovetail joint. Her throat tightened. "What is it?" she whispered. "Letters," Mr. Harrison said. 52 of them. One for each week of the coming year. Elizabeth's hand flew to her mouth. "What?" Mr. Harrison opened the box. Inside were 52 cream-colored envelopes stacked neatly, each one numbered in David's familiar handwriting. 1, 2, 3, all the way to 52. David's instructions were very clear. Mr. Harrison continued. "You are to open one letter each Sunday. Only one. He made me promise to tell you that the order matters. You must read them in sequence." Elizabeth reached out and touched the first envelope. Her fingers traced David's handwriting. Her vision blurred with tears. "He wrote these before he died," she said. It wasn't a question. "He started writing them 6 months ago," Mr. Harrison said quietly. "When he got his diagnosis. He worked on them every day. He told me these letters were the most important thing he'd ever written." Elizabeth carefully lifted the box. It was heavier than she expected. The weight of 52 weeks. The weight of David's final words to her. "Why can't I read them all now?" she asked, though she already knew the answer. "Because," Mr. Harrison said with a sad smile, "David wanted to be with you through this first year. He wanted to make sure you weren't alone." Elizabeth drove home with the box on the passenger seat. She kept glancing at it at red lights as if it might disappear. When she got home, her daughter Rebecca was waiting in the driveway. "Mom, what's that?" Rebecca asked when she saw the box. "Letters," Elizabeth said. "From your father." Rebecca's eyes widened. "What?" They went inside and Elizabeth explained everything. Rebecca cried when she heard. She wanted to open them all right then to hear her father's voice again, even if only on paper. But Elizabeth shook her head. "He wanted one per week," she said firmly. "So that's what we'll do." That first Sunday, Elizabeth woke early. The house was too quiet. David should have been in the kitchen making his terrible coffee and humming off key to whatever song was stuck in his head. Instead, there was only silence. She made tea and sat at the kitchen table. The wooden box sat in front of her. She had waited 7 days. 7 of the longest days of her life. Now it was time. With shaking hands, she opened the box and took out envelope number 1. She turned it over. On the back, David had written, "Sunday, March 15th. The first Sunday." Elizabeth carefully opened the envelope and pulled out 2 pages of David's handwriting. "My dearest Elizabeth," the letter began. "If you're reading this, it's Sunday. It's been a week since I left you and I know you're hurting. I know the house feels empty. I know you're wondering how you'll get through this. I'm writing these letters because I need you to know something. My body may be gone, but my love for you isn't. It will never be gone. It's in every corner of our house. It's in every memory we made. It's in these letters. This first week is about surviving. That's all. You don't need to be strong or brave or anything else. You just need to get through each day. Cry when you need to. Sleep when you're tired. Eat even if you don't want to. Let Rebecca and Michael help you. Do you remember our first date? I was so nervous I spilled wine all over the table. You laughed and said it was the most memorable first date you'd ever had. I knew right then I would marry you. I knew I would spend every day of my life trying to make you laugh like that. I kept that promise, Elizabeth. For 38 years I tried every single day to make you happy. I hope I succeeded. This week I want you to do one thing for me. Just one. Go to our spot in the garden. Sit on the bench I built. Stay there for 10 minutes. Feel the sun. Listen to the birds. Remember that the world is still beautiful even when it hurts. I love you. I will always love you. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth read the letter 3 times. Then she folded it carefully and put it back in the envelope. She walked out to the garden and sat on the bench David had built 20 years ago. She stayed there for 10 minutes just like he asked. And for those 10 minutes she felt like he was sitting beside her. The second Sunday came. Elizabeth opened envelope number 2. My dearest Elizabeth. 2 weeks. You've survived 2 weeks. I'm proud of you. I know it doesn't feel like much, but it is. Every day you keep going is a victory. This week I want to talk about grief. People are going to tell you things. They're going to say I'm in a better place, or it was his time, or he wouldn't want you to be sad. They mean well, but they don't understand. Grief isn't something you get over. It's something you learn to carry. So carry it, Elizabeth. Don't fight it. Don't try to hide it or push it away. Let yourself feel everything. The sadness, the anger, the unfairness of it all. It's okay. Do you remember when we lost the baby? Our first pregnancy. We were so excited, and then suddenly we weren't going to be parents after all. You were devastated. I held you while you cried for hours, days, weeks. But slowly the grief changed. It didn't go away, but it became something we could live with. Something that made us appreciate Rebecca and Michael even more when they came. Grief transformed into gratitude. That will happen again. I promise. One day you'll think of me and smile before you cry. One day you'll remember the good times without the ache of missing me overshadowing everything. That day will come. This week's task is simple. Look through our photo albums. Pick one photo that makes you smile. Just one. Put it somewhere you'll see it every day. Remember the joy, not just the loss. I love you, Elizabeth. Keep going. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth found the photo albums that afternoon. She spent hours looking through them. Their wedding. The kids as babies. Vacations and holidays. Ordinary Tuesdays that somehow ended up being important enough to photograph. She found a picture of David teaching Michael to ride a bike. David was running alongside Michael, holding the seat, his face intense with concentration but also joy. Pure joy. Elizabeth put that photo on her nightstand. Week after week the letters came. Elizabeth guarded Sundays fiercely. She wouldn't schedule anything. Wouldn't make plans. Sundays were for David's letters. The 3rd letter talked about their first house. The 4th about Rebecca's birth. The 5th about David's fears when he got his diagnosis. The 6th about all the things he wished he'd said more often. By the 8th week Elizabeth realized something. She was getting through this. The grief was still there, heavy and constant, but she was carrying it. Just like David said she would. The 10th letter arrived in May. Elizabeth opened it on a rainy Sunday morning. My dearest Elizabeth. By now spring has arrived. The garden is probably starting to bloom. I want you to plant something this week. It doesn't matter what. Flowers. Vegetables. A tree. Something that will grow. Life continues, Elizabeth. Even when we lose someone. Even when it feels like the world should stop. Life keeps going. New things grow. Seasons change. That's not disrespectful to the dead. It's just the truth. I used to worry about you being alone. About who would fix things when they broke. Who would kill the spiders you're afraid of. Who would hold you when you couldn't sleep. But then I realized something. You're not fragile, Elizabeth. You never were. You're the strongest person I know. You raised our children while I worked long hours. You managed our finances. You kept our home running. You did all of that while also being my partner, my best friend, my everything. You don't need me to survive. You never did. But I hope I made your life richer. I hope I added joy and laughter and love to your days. Because you added all of that to mine. This week plant something. Watch it grow. See that life continues. And know that it's okay to be part of that continuing life. I love you, Elizabeth. Grow. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth bought tomato plants that week. She planted them in the garden and watered them every day. Watching them grow became a ritual, a reminder that David was right. Life continued. The 15th letter arrived in mid-June. Elizabeth opened it on a Sunday morning when the heat was just beginning to settle into summer. My dearest Elizabeth. 15 weeks. Over 3 months. Time is strange, isn't it? Some days probably feel endless. Others disappear before you realize they've started. I want to talk about something difficult today. Regrets. I have them, Elizabeth. So many of them. I regret every time I chose work over you. Every dinner I missed. Every conversation I cut short because I was tired or distracted. Every moment I took for granted. I regret not dancing with you more. You always wanted to dance. You'd put on music and reach for my hand, and I'd say I was too tired or too busy. What I wouldn't give now for one more dance. I regret not saying I love you more often. I felt it every day, but I didn't always say it. I thought you knew. And maybe you did. But you deserved to hear it. I regret worrying so much about money and career and all the things that don't matter in the end. I should have worried more about moments. About making sure you knew how cherished you were. But here's what I learned, Elizabeth, in those final months. Regret is only useful if it teaches us something. If it changes how we move forward. So this is what I want you to learn from my regrets. Don't waste time. Don't put off joy. Don't assume there will always be tomorrow. Tell people you love them. Dance when you feel like dancing. Take the trip. Have the conversation. Live like you understand how precious and fragile this all is. This week, I want you to do something you've been putting off. Something you've been telling yourself you'll do later. Do it now, Elizabeth. Later isn't guaranteed. I love you. I should have said it more. I'm saying it now. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth thought about that letter all week. She had been putting off so many things. Cleaning out David's closet. Calling old friends. Taking a painting class she'd been interested in for years. That Thursday she signed up for the painting class. It started the following week. She was terrified, but she went. And she discovered she loved it. The 17th letter came at the end of June. Elizabeth opened it on a Sunday evening after spending the day with Michael and his family. My dearest Elizabeth. I've been thinking about our grandchildren. About Emma and Jacob and little Sophie. About how they'll remember me or maybe won't remember me at all. Sophie was only 2 when I died. She won't have real memories of me. Just stories you and Michael tell her. Photos she'll see. That makes me sad, but it also makes me grateful. Grateful that you're there to tell those stories. Grateful that our family continues. Grateful that some part of me lives on in them. I want you to tell them about me, Elizabeth. Not just the good parts. All of it. Tell them I was stubborn and impatient sometimes. Tell them I burned every meal I tried to cook. Tell them I sang off key and told bad jokes and cried at sappy movies. Tell them I wasn't perfect. But tell them I tried. Tell them I loved their parents with everything I had. Tell them I loved you more than anything in the world. Give them real memories, Elizabeth. Even if they're second-hand. Give them something to hold on to. This week, spend time with the grandchildren. Really be present with them. Play their games. Listen to their stories. Take pictures. Make new memories that include you and them. Because you're the link, Elizabeth. You're the connection between what was and what will be. That's important. That's sacred. I love you. Tell our story. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth called Michael that week and spent an entire afternoon with the grandchildren. They played in the park. She listened to Emma talk about school. She held Sophie and sang her the lullaby she used to sing to Michael. Jacob taught her a game on his tablet and she pretended to understand. And she took pictures. So many pictures. The 18th letter arrived in early July. Elizabeth opened it knowing the next letter would come on their anniversary week. My dearest Elizabeth, next week is our anniversary. I know you're dreading it. I know it's going to hurt. But before we get there, I want to tell you about the day I knew I was going to die. It was 3 months before I did. I was sitting in Dr. Morrison's office and he was explaining treatment options. But I could see it in his eyes. He was going through the motions, but he knew. I knew. I was angry at first. Angry at the unfairness. Angry that I wouldn't get to grow old with you. Angry that I'd miss so much. But then something shifted. I stopped thinking about what I was losing and started thinking about what I'd had. 38 years with you, Elizabeth. 38 years of waking up next to the person I loved most in the world. How many people get that? How many people find their person and get to keep them for almost 4 decades? I was lucky. We were lucky. Yes, it's ending too soon. Yes, I wish we had more time. But I refuse to let the ending poison everything that came before. We had a beautiful life, Elizabeth. We had love and laughter and 2 incredible children. We had adventures and quiet evenings and everything in between. Don't let my death overshadow our life. Don't let grief erase gratitude. This week I want you to make a list. Not of what you lost, but of what you had. All the good things. All the beautiful moments. All the reasons you're glad we found each other. Keep that list, Elizabeth. Read it when grief tries to convince you that loss is all there is. I love you. We were lucky. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth made the list. It took hours. Pages and pages of moments. The first time he held her hand. The day Rebecca was born. The vacation in Maine. The time they got lost driving home from a wedding and ended up watching the sunrise in a field. Thousands of moments. Thousands of reasons to be grateful. The 20th letter came in July. Elizabeth had been dreading this week. July 15th would have been their 39th wedding anniversary. My dearest Elizabeth. Happy anniversary, my love. 39 years. Almost 4 decades. Sometimes it feels like yesterday that I saw you at that coffee shop looking lost with a map of the city spread across the table. Sometimes it feels like I've known you my entire life. I wish I could be there to celebrate with you. I wish I could take you to dinner and give you flowers and tell you face to face how much you mean to me. But since I can't do that, I'm going to tell you now. Elizabeth, you made my life worth living. Every single day with you was a gift. Even the hard days. Even the days we fought or struggled or couldn't quite figure out how to help each other. All of it mattered. All of it was worth it. Do you remember our wedding day? It rained. Poured, actually. Your mother was hysterical. The outdoor ceremony had to be moved inside. Half the flowers wilted. The photographer was late. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. But at the end of the day we were married. And when we got to the hotel room soaking wet and exhausted, you looked at me and said, "Well, at least it can't get worse from here." And we both started laughing. We laughed until we cried. That's what I'll remember most, Elizabeth. Not the perfect moments. The imperfect ones. The ones where things went wrong but we figured it out together. The ones where life was messy and complicated but we had each other. This week I want you to celebrate. I don't care how. Go to dinner with Rebecca and Michael. Have cake for breakfast. Buy yourself flowers. Toast to 39 years. And toast to all the years you still have ahead of you. Because you do have years ahead, Elizabeth. Good years. Don't waste them mourning me. Honor me by living. I love you, Elizabeth. Celebrate. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth called Rebecca and Michael. They came over that evening and they had dinner together. They told stories about David. They laughed at his jokes even though they'd heard them 100 times. They toasted to 39 years and to all the memories they'd made. The 30th letter arrived in September. Elizabeth opened it on a Sunday morning that felt like autumn even though summer wasn't quite over. My dearest Elizabeth. Half a year. 26 weeks. You've made it halfway through this first year without me. I'm so proud of you. I've been thinking about what comes next. Not for me. I know what comes next for me. But for you. What does the rest of your life look like, Elizabeth? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking it's too soon to even consider that question. You're thinking you just want to get through each day. And that's fine. That's more than fine. But eventually, and I don't know when that will be eventually, you're going to wake up and realize you're not just surviving anymore. You're living again. And when that day comes, I need you to know something. I want you to be happy, Elizabeth. Truly happy. Not just okay or getting by. Happy. If that means staying in our house surrounded by memories, I support that. If it means selling the house and starting somewhere new, I support that too. If it means traveling or taking up new hobbies, or even, and this is hard for me to write, but it's true, even if it means finding someone else to share your life with, I support that. Your happiness is not a betrayal of me. Your happiness is not disloyal. Your happiness is what I've always wanted for you. So this week I want you to think about what would make you happy. Not next week or next month, but someday. When you're ready. What does that look like? Write it down. Put it somewhere safe. And when you're ready, start moving toward it. I love you, Elizabeth. Be happy. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth sat with that letter for a long time. She didn't write anything down. She wasn't ready. But she thought about it. And thinking about it was a start. The 40th letter arrived in November. Elizabeth opened it on a cold Sunday morning with the first snow of the season falling outside. My dearest Elizabeth, the holidays are coming. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I know these are going to be hard. I know you're dreading them. Do them anyway. Invite Rebecca and Michael. Make the turkey. Put up the tree. Go through the motions even if you don't feel like it. Because here's what I learned, Elizabeth. The rituals matter. The traditions matter. Not because they're fun or easy, but because they connect us. They remind us we're part of something bigger than ourselves. Our family will gather without me. That's painful, but it's also beautiful. Because it means we built something that lasts. Something that continues even when I'm gone. This week I want you to start planning. Call the kids. Make the menu. Buy the decorations. Do all the things we always did. And when the hard moments come, and they will come, let yourself feel them. Cry if you need to. Take breaks if you need to. But show up, Elizabeth. Show up for our family. Show up for the life we built together. I love you, Elizabeth. Keep our traditions alive. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth called Rebecca and Michael that afternoon. They made plans for Thanksgiving. It wasn't the same without David, but they showed up. They made the turkey. They told stories. They honored him by continuing. The 49th letter arrived in late December. Elizabeth opened it on the Sunday after Christmas. My dearest Elizabeth. Almost there. 3 more letters. 3 more weeks. And then this first year without me will be over. I've been thinking about what to say in these final letters. There's so much I want to tell you. So much I wish I'd said when I was alive. But I think what matters most is this. Thank you. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for building a life with me. Thank you for loving me on the good days and the hard days. Thank you for being patient when I was difficult. Thank you for laughing at my terrible jokes. Thank you for making our house a home. Thank you for giving me children who are kind and strong and compassionate. Thank you for being the kind of mother who taught them to be good people. Thank you for 38 years of waking up next to you. Thank you for 38 years of falling asleep knowing I was loved. Thank you, Elizabeth, for everything. This week, I don't have a task for you. Just this. Look back at this year. Look at how far you've come. Look at what you've survived. And know that I'm grateful. Grateful that you're still here. Grateful that you're moving forward. I love you, Elizabeth. Thank you. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth cried through the entire letter. She had cried through many of the letters, but this one felt different. This one felt like goodbye was getting closer. The 50th letter arrived on New Year's Eve week. Elizabeth opened it on Sunday morning as the final days of the year ticked away. My dearest Elizabeth, this is the second to last letter. Next week will be the final one. Next week will mark 1 year since I died. I've watched you through these letters through this year, and I've seen you change. I've seen you grieve and struggle and slowly find your way back to yourself. That's what this year has been about, Elizabeth. Not moving on. I hate that phrase. You don't move on from someone you love. You move forward with them. You carry them with you. And you have carried me. I feel it. In the garden you tend. In the traditions you've kept. In the way you've shown up for our family. In the way you've honored our love by continuing to live. I'm not in the letters, Elizabeth. I'm in you. In your memories. In your heart. That's where I'll always be. This week as the year ends, I want you to reflect. Look at where you were a year ago. Look at where you are now. See the strength you didn't know you had. See the resilience you've built. And then I want you to look forward. To the year ahead. To all the years ahead. They're going to be different. But they can still be good. I love you, Elizabeth. Look forward. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth stayed up until midnight on New Year's Eve. She watched the fireworks through the window. And for the first time in a year she felt something like hope. Elizabeth stayed up until midnight on New Year's Eve. She watched the fireworks through the window. And for the first time in a year she felt something like hope. The 51st letter arrived in early March. Elizabeth waited until Sunday morning to open it. Only 2 letters left now. My dearest Elizabeth. Next week is the final letter. Next week marks 1 year since I died. But this week I want to talk about something specific. Something I need you to understand. Forgiveness. I need you to forgive me, Elizabeth. For leaving. For getting sick. For all the ways I wasn't perfect. For every argument we had. Every disappointment. Every moment I fell short. I know that's not how it works. I know you can't control illness. I know dying wasn't my choice. But I still need you to forgive me for not being there anymore. And more than that, I need you to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for the times you felt angry at me. For the moments you resented my illness. For the days you wished it would just end so you could stop watching me suffer. For every complicated emotion you felt. Those feelings don't make you bad, Elizabeth. They make you human. Forgive yourself for the moments of happiness you felt this year. For the times you laughed or smiled or forgot to be sad for a little while. You're allowed to feel joy. You're supposed to feel joy. Forgive yourself for not being perfect at grief. For not knowing the right way to do this. There is no right way. There's only your way. And forgive yourself for whatever comes next. For moving forward. For building a new life. For eventually not thinking about me every single day. That's not betrayal, Elizabeth. That's healing. And I want you to heal. This week I want you to write 2 letters. One to me saying whatever you need to say. Anger. Sadness. Love. Goodbye. Whatever needs to come out. And one to yourself. Tell yourself what you need to hear. Give yourself permission to let go of guilt. To embrace whatever comes next. You don't have to show anyone these letters. They're just for you. I love you, Elizabeth. Forgive us both. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth spent 3 days writing those letters. The one to David was 10 pages long. She cried through most of it. She told him everything. How angry she was that he left. How much she missed him. How scared she was of the future. How grateful she was for their life together. The letter to herself was harder. Shorter. But maybe more important. Dear Elizabeth, she wrote. You're doing okay. Better than okay. You're surviving. And soon you'll be thriving. It's okay to let go. It's okay to move forward. David would want that. You know he would want that. So give yourself permission. Forgive yourself. And live. She burned both letters in the fireplace and watched the smoke carry her words away. The 52nd letter sat in the box. The final one. Elizabeth waited until Sunday morning. 1 year to the day since David had died. She made tea. She sat at the kitchen table. The wooden box was nearly empty now. Just one envelope left. Number 52. Elizabeth picked it up. Her hands weren't shaking anymore. She opened it carefully. My dearest Elizabeth. 1 year. 52 weeks. 52 letters. We made it. I say we because we did this together. I wrote the letters, but you read them. You listened. You did the tasks. You kept going even when it was hard. Especially when it was hard. I'm so proud of you, Elizabeth. I'm proud of the way you've grieved with honesty and courage. I'm proud of the way you've shown up for our family. I'm proud of the way you've honored our love. But now it's time. Time to close this box. Time to stop waiting for Sunday letters. Time to step fully into your new life. I know that's scary. These letters have been a connection to me. A way of keeping me close. But Elizabeth, I'm already close. I'm in every good memory. I'm in every lesson I taught our kids. I'm in the garden and the house and the life we built together. You don't need letters to remember me. You never will. So this is my final task for you. The most important one. Live. Live boldly. Live fully. Live without guilt or regret. Take chances. Try new things. Travel to places we never got to see. Make new friends. Reconnect with old ones. Fall in love with life again. And Elizabeth, if someday you fall in love with another person, that's okay too. Your heart is big enough for all of us. Love isn't finite. Loving someone new doesn't erase what we had. It just proves you're still alive. Still capable of joy. I want that for you. I need you to know I want that for you. 1 year ago I left. But you didn't. You're still here. You have time. Use it. This is my last letter, but it's not goodbye. It's never goodbye. It's until we meet again. Because we will meet again, Elizabeth. I believe that. And until then I'll be watching. I'll be proud. I'll be cheering you on. Thank you for 52 weeks. Thank you for 38 years. Thank you for everything. Now go live. I love you, Elizabeth. Forever and always. Forever yours, David. Elizabeth read the letter twice. Then she folded it carefully and placed it back in the envelope with all the others. She closed the wooden box and put it on the shelf where she kept her most precious things. Then she picked up her phone and called Rebecca. Hey Mom, Rebecca answered. How are you? I'm okay, Elizabeth said. And she meant it. I was thinking maybe we could plan a trip. Somewhere your dad and I always wanted to go but never did. Rebecca was quiet for a moment. Then she said, Mom, that sounds perfect. Elizabeth walked out to the garden. The tomato plants had long since died back for the winter, but she could already imagine spring. New plants. New growth. New beginnings. She sat on the bench David had built. The sun was breaking through the clouds. She closed her eyes and felt its warmth on her face. Thank you, she whispered to the sky. To David. To the universe. To whoever was listening. Thank you for 52 letters. Thank you for 38 years. Thank you for teaching me how to say goodbye. And thank you for teaching me how to keep living. Elizabeth stood up. She had phone calls to make. Plans to create. A life to live. David's letters had walked her through the worst year of her life. But now it was time to walk on her own. She wasn't alone though. She never would be. David was in her heart. In her memories. In the strength he'd helped her build over 52 weeks. 1 year. 52 letters. And a love that would last forever. Elizabeth Carter walked back into her house. The wooden box sat on the shelf. The letters inside would always be there when she needed them. But she didn't need them today. Today she was going to live. If this story touched your heart, please hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments which city you're watching from. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it today. Remember, love never ends, it just transforms into something we carry with us forever. What would you do if someone you loved left you 52 letters? Let me know in the comments below.